All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all are having a good morning or a good afternoon, depending on where you are today. Today we are going to check out a video from Squad Dawkins. This one is called 16 Straight Minutes of Michael Jordan Facts That Will Convince You He's the Undisputed GOAT. Sounds like my type of video. So I picked this, I found it, and I can't wait to watch it. As always, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description if you want to watch it without my commentary. And for everybody else, if you'd give this video a like, I'd really appreciate it. You guys have been crushing it lately, and it's awesome. These videos have been getting out there. But yeah, without further ado, let's do this.
Welcome to the Squad Dawkins channel. Here we bring you every fact that will convince you Michael Jordan is the absolute basketball GOAT. Michael Jordan's final game as a Chicago Bull was a legendary and iconic as his sidekick Scottie Pippen was dealing with back problems, and as a result, Jordan had to carry the Bulls.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't seem to remember. Pippen was severely injured. His back was a wreck during this finals, the last final run.
MJ scored 45 of the Bulls' 87 points in that championship clinching game.
Yeah, Scottie had 8
points. 35-year-old Jordan in his final game with the Bulls scored 51.7% of his team's points. Since the NBA and ABA merger in 1976, that is the highest percentage in NBA Finals history.
Damn.
On the evening of October,
let's hear that again.
76% of his team's points. Since the NBA and ABA merger in 1976, that is the highest percentage in NBA Finals history.
I didn't actually know that. Damn.
On the evening of October 25th in 1984, MJ's legacy almost ended before it started. The Bulls were playing their first regular season game of the year, and early in the game, Jordan went up for his first official NBA dunk attempt, and it ended up extremely ugly. The defender's leg is caught underneath him, resulting in an awkward and painful landing. Fortunately, after a few moments, young MJ was okay and continued to play in the game. But if that angle had just been slightly different on the landing, it could have resulted in a broken shooting arm or even damage to his neck.
Look at this guy. He didn't even complain or anything. He just gets up. He just stands back up, and he's good to go.
We all know, despite the terrible experience on his first dunk attempt, MJ managed a few successful dunks in his career.
Yeah, just a couple.
Scoring leaders usually don't win championships unless your name is Michael Jordan. In the history of the NBA, there have been a total of 5 players who won the championship while leading the league in scoring. And those players are Joe Fulks, George Mikan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and Shaquille O'Neal.
Before he actually won his first championship, that was the narrative that the media was pushing on him. A shooting guard who leads the league in scoring is never going to win a championship. That's what they drilled into his head. But he proved them wrong 6 times.
The craziest part is that MJ has done it more times than all other players of NBA history combined.
Oh, damn.
Only 2 players in league history have averaged over 30 points and over 10 assists in a single NBA Finals series. These are the 2 players who continue to find themselves on their own list: Michael Jordan and LeBron James. MJ did it in 1991 against the Lakers, while LeBron did it twice.
Let's look. 31-11 on 44 minutes, 6 rebounds, 1.4 blocks. Turnovers. Okay, so Jordan's doing good in turnovers. Shooting percentage, fantastic. Damn, man. LeBron's 2016, not bad. Not bad. I'll give you that. 33, 10, 12. Fuck. 2017, he did it again. Slightly lower percentage. Yeah. That's insane to do this, though, just in general. To score 30 points and average more than 10 assists, it's crazy. In a finals.
In 2017 and 2018.
Especially back then. Assists come easy nowadays because, you can take like 2 or 3 dribbles and multiple steps and then get a shot off and you still get that assist credited. Back in 1991, that was like a direct assist. Like it had to be a catch and shoot in order for it to count as an assist. So that just stands out even more for me.
Against the Warriors, Michael Jordan absolutely dominated his era, and no stat may better sum up the extent of his dominance than this one. From November of 1990 until his retirement in 1998, MJ never lost 3 games in a row. That's a streak of 632 games, which is easily the longest streak by a player in NBA history. Even the super team of the Warriors with Kevin Durant couldn't accomplish that same feat of avoiding a 3-game losing streak in any of their 3 seasons together. And this was one of the greatest and arguably the most overpowered team in league. The Chicago Bulls set the NBA record for the greatest regular season with a 72-10 record, which made them the first team in league history to eclipse 70 wins in a season. Not only did the Bulls win 72 games in 1996, but they were extremely close to reaching the 70-win mark in the following season as well.
What's crazy about that 95-96 season was that was his first year back. That was his first full year back into basketball, out of baseball. And then they break the record for the best record of all time.
In the 1996-97 regular season, the Bulls actually had 69 wins heading into their final 2 regular season games. The first game was in Miami against the solid Heat team that they would later meet in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Heat won this regular season contest by 10 points. The final game of the regular season was against their rivals, the New York Knicks. The game was extremely tight throughout, with both teams making incredibly clutch baskets down the stretch. Chicago would have the last shot though, but Pippen, who had a good look, missed it pretty badly.
Ouch. Yeah, Pippen's not that guy for the clutch shot. That should have been Steve Kerr, but let me look at it again.
Chicago would have the last shot.
You didn't even try, Steve. You should have taken it, man. That's your shot.
But Pippen, who had a good look, missed it pretty badly. If this shot had gone in, then the Bulls would have achieved something that no other team has done before for the second straight season. Roughly 4 years after his 63-point playoff performance against the Boston Celtics, the GOAT Michael Jordan added to his postseason lore over a 2-game stretch.
Oh, yeah. Everyone talks about the 63, but they don't talk about what came next.
In the 1988 playoffs, MJ became the first player in NBA history to log back-to-back 50-point games in the playoffs. In Game 1 of a first-round series with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jordan scored 50 points on 19 for 35 shooting, sinking all 12 of his free throws.
Always above 50%, even on these crazy high-scoring nights.
Then came Game 2 3 days later on May 1st, 1988. Jordan one-upped himself with a 55-point game against the Cavs. He shot 24 for 45 overall and was 7 for 7 from the free throw line as the Bulls built a 2-0 series edge.
You know, I remember because I grew up watching this. I watched Jordan torch the Cleveland Cavaliers his entire career, and a part of me always felt bad for them. And then all of a sudden, a dude named LeBron James gets drafted, and I start thinking, is this karma? Like, is this redemption? Like, not redemption, but is this a cycle of, like, the circle of life happening? I thought, you know, LeBron would stick around in Cleveland and they'd get to win multiple championships, and it would be like, you know, you deserve this, Cleveland, because the original 23 destroyed you guys, but then the next 23 might actually, like, deliver some championships for you. Didn't quite go that way, but that's truly how I felt. And it's also why I started being a LeBron fan early on in his career, because I was kind of pushing for it. I'm like, these freaking Cleveland fans deserve some wins. You got one at least. Still more than my sons.
The Cavs forced a decisive Game 5, but Jordan delivered there too. His 39 points powered a series-clinching 107-101 Bulls win. There have been many explosive scores throughout the league's history, but there are a few players who could score in bunches while remaining extremely efficient.
Yeah.
For example, Tracy McGrady had just 8 games in his career where he scored at least 40 points while shooting at least 60% from the field. Kobe had 23 of those games, and well beyond that is Michael Jordan, who had 70 games where he scored at least 40 points on at least 60% shooting from the field. To put that in perspective, throughout his career, LeBron James has a total of 74 games where he scored at least 40 points, and that's in total, regardless of efficiency. Out of the 74, LeBron shot 60% in only 35 games. MJ is the only player in NBA history to win an MVP, a scoring title, first team all-defense and NBA championship, and a finals MVP all in the same season. And amazingly, he did this 4 times. Jordan is the player with the most combinations of scoring titles and all-defensive first-team honors with 9. He's also the only player to win the scoring title and the Defensive Player of the Year award in the same season.
Yes, sir.
His 35-point scoring average is the highest for any Defensive Player of the Year winner.
That's insane.
Jordan won the NBA championship and the scoring title in the same season 6 times, most by any player. And
this one right here, I'm shocked. Somebody like Shaq. somebody like Shaq didn't accomplish this. You know, DPOY and an average like prime Shaq. I'm surprised it never happened. For a shooting guard to do that, insane.
His 32.6 scoring average is the highest for any player in a championship season.
Nice.
MJ is the only perimeter player in NBA history to average 30 points in a single season while shooting 50% from the field.
Yeah, that's the thing that doesn't get said enough, and I'm glad this video is covering it, because one major difference between MJ versus, let's list some people: Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady. I'm just gonna tap out there, but players like that, like volume scorers, the difference between them and MJ is that shooting percentage. His efficiency was so good, always above 50%. It wasn't until his 2 final years with the Wizards that he was shooting in the 40s that dropped his percentage to basically like even 50. I think it was like 49.9 or something for his career. But that's the thing that nobody really talks about. The most efficient volume scorer we've really seen that's been successful.
And he did it 5 times. Scoring was obviously Jordan's standout skill, and he still holds the all-time record for leading the NBA in total points scored 11 times. Additionally, it is also an all-time record that Jordan led the NBA in scoring 10 times.
That's crazy. It's crazy that he's got Wilt beat on this.
Also, an all-time record is Michael's career regular season scoring average of 30.12 points per game. He also holds the all-time playoff points per game record with 33.5 points per game.
Damn.
In the playoffs, MJ was a killer. He still has the all-time record for most points ever in a playoff game with 63 against the Celtics in 1986. Jordan's first ever game where he scored over 50 points was the 63 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Jordan set a still-standing playoff record in the 1991 Finals against the Lakers when he scored on 13 consecutive field goals without a miss.
Wow, I don't remember that. Oh, I'm about to blow this.
Against the Lakers.
Let's watch it.
When he scored on 13 consecutive field goals without a miss.
Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move.
As if we haven't seen it before, but you know, it's classic.
Consecutive field goals.
That is a
13
final
consecutive field goals. I never paid attention to that. Damn. Marv says it right there.
record, but it is also an all-time playoff record. Another all-time playoff record MJ still holds is that he made 24 shots from the field against Cleveland in 1988. Against Detroit in 1991, Jordan made 13 free throws in a quarter, which is still an all-time playoff record. MJ holds the all-time record with 8
that was against Detroit?
In a quarter, which is still an all-time playoff record.
91. That makes sense. Yeah. Because they gave up. That's all they can do was just hit MJ over and over again. But that was the year that the Bulls finally got over Detroit. They had no answer for him. Just try and hit him and injure him.
Record. MJ holds the all-time record with 8 50-plus point playoff games.
Damn.
He also holds the all-time playoff record for most 40-plus point games with 38. Another all-time record Jordan holds is another playoff record. He is the only player in NBA history to never once score under 15 points in any playoff game he ever played in.
Wait. Let's hear that again.
NBA history to never once score under 15 points in any playoff game he ever played in.
God damn, so he never choked a single game. You could say he had under par games in the playoffs, but he never actually choked. He never had like one of those like 8 points, 8-point shutdowns where he just falls apart. Like he never did it. At least 15 points every single game. And that's the average of his number 2 contributor, Scottie Pippen. Insane. His worst game is his number 2's average game. Freaking MJ.
MJ holds the all-time record by being the only player in NBA history to never once score under 20 points in a finals game.
Nice.
The most underrated aspect of MJ's game was definitely his shot blocking. If MJ isn't the greatest shot blocking guard in the history of the game, then he's certainly in the top 3.
Oh, for sure. I got him number 1 and D-Wade number 2.
Defense, Michael was a very sneaky and intelligent player who could read a defense and respond accordingly as the help defender. Combine that with his insane quickness, agility, and leaping ability, and you have the recipe for an all-time great shot blocking wing. MJ has the most blocks by a guard in a single season, which was a total total of 131 and the 1987-88 season, and unsurprisingly, that was the season he won the Defensive Player of the Year. Not only is he first on the all-time list, but he's also in the second spot as he blocked 125 shots in the 1986-87 season.
Wow. Hey, T-Mac is on there. 2000 with Orlando, huh? Games played, 77, 118. So he played 5 less games. Props to T-Mac, man. I didn't expect that. Iceman in here and D-Wade, I'm not surprised to see you here, buddy. That was 2008. 79 games, 106, also impressive. I'm the most shocked by this. T-Mac, huh? I don't remember him blocking people that much.
25 shots in the 1986-87 season. In that 1986-87 season, he began a career-long onslaught on the NBA record book. That year saw him average 37.1 points in the first of 7 consecutive seasons in which he led the league in scoring and topped 30 points per contest. In the spring of 1989, Bulls coach Doug Collins moved Jordan to the point guard position.
Oh, this is where it gets nasty.
As the point guard, Jordan had a streak where he had 7 straight triple-doubles and 10 triple-doubles in 11 games. In the final 24 games as the point guard, Jordan averaged over 30 points, over 9 rebounds, and over 10 assists, all while being efficient on offense and dominant on defense.
So in case you didn't catch that, that's one rebound away from averaging a triple-double, 30-point triple-double as a point guard in the short time he got to play that position. Makes you wonder, huh?
On the year, he was first in win shares, first in player efficiency rating, and first in plus minus. As we all know, MJ reached 6 NBA Finals, he has 6 rings, and he missed 6 regular season games in those 6 championship seasons combined.
Damn.
Drafted in 1984, Jordan played all 82 games in his very first season. It was the first of 9 whole seasons where MJ would play all 82 games. However, the following season, MJ sustained a broken foot injury and sat out for almost the entirety of 1985-86 campaign. It is almost incredible that, excluding that season, MJ missed only 7 games in the 12 seasons he played with the Bulls. By MJ, he felt an obligation to play every day.
Oh, yeah.
He felt an obligation to play every game.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew, not just for a television audience, but he knew, and every time he played, there were families, there were others who had saved their money, potentially scalped the ticket in those days, as they called it, to see Michael Jordan play.
Yeah, Kobe actually inherited this. I mean, turns out there was a mentorship there, so I'm sure MJ kind of taught him that. But yeah, Kobe said the same thing his entire career as well. You know, this could be the only time that these people ever get to see me play live. You know, this could be a hardworking mom and dad that are saving money to take their kids to go watch Kobe Bryant. And imagine how they would feel if they were load managing, like all these guys like, Kawhi and LeBron and freaking everybody now. I can't even just pin it on those two. It seems to be everybody, even on my sons. Sometimes I wonder, why the hell Booker not playing? Why the hell's KD not playing? Where's Beal at? It's like, these tickets cost a lot of money. So yeah, MJ and Kobe, they had it right. Because this is entertainment. People are paying to be entertained. And imagine going to a Metallica concert and then half of the band doesn't show up. And it's like, well, I want my fucking money back. What the hell is this? I'm being ripped off.
Remains one of the most impressive athletes the NBA has ever seen. By reports, in North Carolina, he ran a 40-yard dash in an amazing 4.3 seconds.
And I'll never forget this. His sophomore year, ran the 40-yard. Me and Coach Guthridge and our trainer, Mark Carnes, we all 3 had hand stopwatches, so we're not professional timers by any means. But he crossed the line, I looked, and I said, wow. I said, Coach Guthridge, what'd you get? And he looked at me, and then Mark Davis said, I got 4.39. And Coach Guthridge said, I got 4.38. And I said, I did too. And so I waited a couple of, I said, Michael, we missed your start. We made a mistake here. Come on, I need you to run it again. And he said, oh, too fast for you, huh? I'll never forget that. And he goes back to the line and runs it again. And all of us got below 4.4 as a sophomore.
Damn.
So he went from 6.4.5 to 6.6 and got faster.
This is why we call Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan, we didn't just call them like the best basketball players. We called them the best athletes. They could have picked whatever sport they wanted to do and dominated. You know, you could have seen MJ running like track and field or something, or be, you know, a wide receiver or running back out there because he was so damn quick. And same with Wilt. Hell, he was into pretty much every sport, that guy. Volleyball, track and field. What am I saying? Michael Jordan even played baseball. You know, like that was a real thing.
No, MJ could leap out of the gym, but his speed was ridiculous.
Prime time.
He could run like Deion Sanders. Imagine Klay Thompson's frame combined with Allen Iverson's agility and Russell Westbrook's speed. He might not have been as big or as strong as LeBron James, but Jordan made up for that with elite quickness. Now add that to his 48 inches vertical leap and you have the most athletic player to ever play basketball.
Yeah. I thought Vince Carter had him topped, but no, I've got young Jordan as the most athletic freak I've ever seen in the NBA, like just hands down. Vince Carter's right there, but the things that MJ was able to do just surpasses everybody else. It's just the distance between Vince and everybody else below him is ridiculous. Vince was, dude, those dunk contests were something special. That Olympic dunk where he nutted on that guy's head.
Once in a lifetime, greatness could be seen as soon as he set foot on the court for the first time. In his rookie season, he took the league by storm, displaying his elite athleticism as he averaged 28.2 points, 6.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 2.
As a rookie, okay, 38 minutes. He's not even, there's 10 minutes of the game he's not playing. He would have averaged like 35 his first year. Holy crap. I never paid attention to that right there. He only played 38 minutes a game as a rookie. And he still put up 28 points, 6.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2.4 steals, and a block. And his turnovers, he was a little sloppy with the ball that first season, though. Still, shooting percentage above 50% at 51.5. Good free throw shooter, 84.5. LeBron is still not there. And terrible three-point shooter, though. Terrible. That got better over the years, but damn. You had to do one thing really crappy, didn't you, MJ? You almost were like a perfect rookie, but that three-point percentage sucked. Still, hella impressive.
2.4 steals on 51.5% shooting. He finished third in scoring and fourth in steals, but for the Bulls specifically, his value was off the charts he led his team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He's the only rookie in history who's ever done that. With Jordan,
I mean, to be fair, the only rookie I've seen make that much of an impact, and he not even this much, but close, was LeBron James. Because he came in and he led that team year one. He was the leader. He was the best player on the team, on the Cavs, from his rookie season. And you never see that. But MJ was even beyond that. It's insane.
The Bulls improved 11 wins over the previous season, and even Larry Bird said that he's never seen a player improve a team more than MJ did.
Yeah.
Jordan wore number 12 for one game. On February 14th, 1990, Jordan scored 49 points wearing number 12 on a loss to the Magic. The only player in NBA history to score more points in a single game while wearing 12 is Hall of Famer George Yardley. Jordan's salary in 1995-96 was $3.85 million, which ranked 32nd in the NBA that season.
What year is this?
$3.85 million. So Jordan's salary in 1995-96.
So this is his 95-96. This is his first full year back as a Chicago Bull. And he's not even, It's insane. He could have sucked up as much money as he wanted to and been like these modern players. You know, he could have got paid the max, but instead he lowballed himself so he can free up money so they can sign free agents. He wanted to win first. He had other ways of making money.
96 was $3.85 million, which ranked 32nd in the NBA that season.
Crazy. Christian Laettner getting paid more than him at this time. Insane. Kenny Anderson, what's up?
Players with higher salaries that season included Benoit Benjamin, Brian Shaw, Danny Ferry, and Dale Davis. For his career, Jordan was 9 of 18 shooting in the playoffs on potential game-tying or go-ahead shots in the final 24 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime. He was a perfect 3 of 3 on such shots in games when his team faced elimination, and 4 of 7 when his team had an opportunity to clinch.
Damn, 3 of 3 went out. Damn.
End of his tenure,
I got those shoes.
The Bulls, Jordan had developed into the game's best mid-range scorer. His final 2 seasons in Chicago, Jordan made 997 mid-range shots, over 250 more than any other player. In his final season with the Wizards, when he turned 40 years old, Jordan dunked 21 times.
Wow.
To put things into perspective,
with those bad knees and a broken rib.
In his final season with the Lakers, the 37 years old Kobe Bryant has dunked 4 times.
With that bad Achilles.
MJ's title teams did not blow leads. In the 6 seasons they won the title, they were 42-0 in the playoffs and 210-5 in the regular season, when leading by 10 or more entering the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Jordan was returning to the NBA as a 38-year-old who was trying to get back into basketball shape.
Real quick tidbit about that last part. Really fun, those last 3 years of the Bulls. Because some games, and I mean like every third game or so, the Bulls starters would go out there and crush for 3 quarters. So they'd have like a 20-point lead. And back then, a 20-point lead going into 4th, game's over. So then the bench would come in. Guys like Bill Wellington, Judd Buechler, Randy Brown. Kukoc would be part of that second squad most of the time. And Steve Kerr in there. And those guys would just basically like party. Like it was like, okay, the starters were on the bench and they were just laughing and having a good time, you know, just having the time of their life. And then these guys like Judd Buechler, he sticks out the most because he would get these breakaway dunks and then he would just like pump his hands up, his fist up, like he just won the championship. And like the whole bench and everyone would just go crazy and the whole crowd loved it. Like Bushy was hilarious, man. And then Randy Brown would play lockdown D like it was a tie game, even though they were up by 20. Classic times, man. Classic times. Sorry, I needed to share those memories. Let me know down below. Do you guys remember that? Because I watched all those games back then.
Title. They were 42-0 in the playoffs and 210-5 in the regular season, when leading by 10 or more entering the 4th quarter. Jordan was returning to the NBA as a 38-year-old who was trying to get back into basketball shape. The comeback had plenty of physical obstacles as well. Jordan was heading into his return dealing with tendinitis in his wrist and in both of his knees. During a pickup game that offseason, Ron Artest had broke 2 of Jordan's ribs while playing physical defense on MJ.
One day, me and Michael was just like tussling hard. He wanted this position. I'm like, nah, you can't have this position. You know what I'm saying? So when I was trying to deny him and get his arm out the way, my elbow hit him in the ribs. Then his ribs cracked.
Jordan would also go on to have fluid drained from his knees multiple times throughout that year.
Ron Artest continues that story and said MJ still hit a game winner. Like that's what Ron Artest says. I don't know if it's true, but that's what Ron Artest said. He was in massive pain, but then he just kept playing because he's Michael Jordan, and then he hit a game winner. And he never gave Ron Artest a hard time, ever. Not a word about it. You know? He was just like, yeah, he's playing hard.
Michael Jordan was joining a Wizards team who had finished the previous season with a 3rd worst record in the entire NBA at 19-63. Despite the fact that they were playing in a much weaker Eastern Conference, they also had the 2nd worst defense in the league in terms of opponents' points per game. The Wizards started the season with a 26-21 record, and on the 47th game, Jordan collided with a teammate and tore his meniscus.
Yeah.
He tried to play through the pain and on reduced minutes, but after another 14 games, he had arthroscopic knee surgery to repair the knee, and his season was over.
Yeah, I had a torn meniscus too, and just working in a restaurant, 12-hour shifts on my feet, that was near impossible, and I had to do it 5 to 6, sometimes 7 days a week. That was impossible enough, but to play basketball and to need to elevate, especially with MJ's fadeaway jumper, no way you can do that with a torn meniscus. That's not even fair.
Before Jordan's injury occurred, MJ was averaging 25.1 points per game, 6.2 assists, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game.
Hold on. I just want to take another look. Worst thing is going to be the field goal percentage. Yep, 42%. That was the thing that went down the most. Let me see. Where are we looking? I'm looking for... His free throws went down a little bit too. Total rebounds, 6, 5 assists. Still getting his 1.5 steal. His blocks went down a little bit. to 0.5. Turnovers are still low. And he's getting 25. Not bad for a 39-year-old man with 2 bad knees and 2 broken ribs and tendonitis.
6.2 assists, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game. In his last 20 games leading up to his injury, MJ was averaging 27.5 points per game.
Let's look. So, yeah, 27.5. Still turnovers are low. Same thing with the blocks, 0.5. 1.3 steals doing it. His assists are rocking. His rebounds are rocking. Free throw percentage is still a little bit lower than his usual. He's a terrible three-point shooter at this point still. Field goal percentage was going up. Well, there it is. Yeah. That's how we all remember it. All of us old dudes, we remember it that like he was slowly getting back into like Chicago Bulls Jordan, like 98 Jordan, you know, but slowly throughout the year he was getting back to that guy. But then it all got shut down and he needed to get surgery.
6.4 assists, 5.2 rebounds, and 1.3 steals.
27 points. 27 points. Get another 3 points, and that's like back to prime. And then, you know, up that by 5%, and he's back to prime. Sorry, I'll rewind this and then play it without my commentary, but that's cool. I love to actually look at the details of the numbers here.
Points per game, 6.4 assists, 5.2 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game on 44% shooting. In his last 10 games leading up to the injury, MJ was averaging 29 points, 6.6 assists, 6.1 rebounds, 1.2 steals on 47% shooting.
47.
Also, before Jordan was injured, the Wizards were on a 47-win pace and were well in the playoff hunt.
Yep.
Up to that point, no team in NBA history had ever been a sub-20 win team and gone on to have a winning record the following season.
Yeah, so everybody who's saying that like Jordan sucked when he was a Wizard, that's BS, dude. So he took a sub-20 win team, and he was about to bring him to the playoffs if he didn't get shut down because of injury. They were gonna make the playoffs. Doesn't mean they were gonna win a championship. They could have maybe won a series, but they were definitely going into the playoffs.
Aging MJ had the Wizards well on their way up until the meniscus happened. Not only did Jordan take one of the worst teams in the league and make them competitive, but had it not been for his knee injury, the Wizards would have had a legitimate shot at the first seed in the Eastern Conference. Jordan started the first 15 games of the 2002-2003 season coming off of the bench. In his second season in Washington, Jordan was the only Wizard to play all 82 games, and he was 40 years old.
Did you hear that?
In Washington, Jordan was the only Wizard to play all 82 games, and he was 40 years old. He also became the only 40-year-old in NBA history to score over 40 points in a game, which he did several times that season. He also became the oldest player in NBA history to average at least 20 points per game. Tell us in the comments, what do you think is the most impressive Michael Jordan fact?
Shoot.
And if you enjoy this video, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. For even more basketball...
Man. Yeah, I can't answer that question. Too many. Just, I'd have to rewatch this a bunch of times and take notes because there's so many of those stats that, even though I've heard most of these stats, that just shock me. Like all these things, it was one dude who did all these things. From the very first season to the very last season. The guy was a god. Oh, man. Well... You know, I didn't think this video was going to be that entertaining for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it because this was like almost overwhelming for me. The rapid pace of stats and just facts that Dawkins was throwing out here. That's why I had to pause and like rewind a little bit because it was just like bang, bang, bang. But hell of a video. Anybody who doesn't think he's the GOAT, man, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't understand it. I respect it, but I don't understand it. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want more. And if you do, I'll see you tonight on the next video for the After Dark one. All right? Peace out, everybody.